Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Abaji here, and today I'm going to talk to you about plants and their parts. And first of all, I'm going to just kind of review what we've learned already about living things. You have learned that living things need water, sun, food, space or shelter to grow or to live. And then you have, in this case of plants, they need pollinators to help them. And we'll talk more about that. So the parts of a plant and the parts of the tree are what we're going to go over today. I'm going to start here with the roots. The roots help the plant stay in place, and they help them get nutrients and water from the soil. Then, as it grows a stem, the stem acts like a straw, a tubular system that will suck up the water and the nutrients from the soil to the leaves, okay? And then the leaves will use humans' carbon dioxide, like when we breathe in and breathe out. When we breathe out, that breath is called carbon dioxide, and that's not something that we like to have. We like to have oxygen, but the plants like carbon dioxide, and they will use carbon dioxide with the sunlight and the water and nutrients to undergo a process called photosynthesis, which will then produce oxygen for us. Okay, and the leaves are, and then when they're producing oxygen for us, but they're also producing food for the plant. Okay, then the plant might flower, and flowering plants will be brightly colored. The flowers will be to attract pollinators. They'll attract bees and butterflies, and bees and butterflies will go from one flower to the next to get nectar, but when they're getting nectar, they're getting this dust on them called pollen, and they're moving it from flower to flower so that the flowers can make more of that kind of flower again. And they might produce a fruit, like strawberry plants in particular would produce a strawberry, which would hold the seeds, then make more strawberry plants if you were to plant them. Along with tomatoes, they would hold the seeds inside the fruit of the tomato, or watermelons, or even like pumpkins like we talked about last year. Okay. And then over here I have a tree. Now this is a coniferous tree. There's two different types of trees. There's conifers or coniferous trees, and like this one here. And there's also deciduous trees. Deciduous trees lose their leaves. They turn orange and red in the fall, like a maple tree or a cherry tree or apple tree. They will lose their leaves and not have leaves on them in the winter time. So those are called deciduous trees, but they have the same parts mostly. The main difference is that instead of leaves on a deciduous tree, this tree here will have needles. Okay. So all trees have roots, again, just like the plant. The roots will hold the tree in place as well as give it nutrients and water from the soil to begin the growth process. And then it continues to grow and get large, and the trunk is similar to the stem of a plant where it takes the water and nutrients up, but it also brings back down sap as well. Okay. And then takes it. So as they take the water nutrients out to the branches and to the leaves or the needles in this case will just like the leaves on the plant will undergo photosynthesis. It will use our carbon dioxide in the sunlight and the water nutrients to make food for the tree. The branches are important because they help guide the leaves out to the sun. The bark of the tree is like our skin. It protects the outside or the inside of the tree. So it's on the outside, but it protects the tree on the inside so it can continue to grow. And then this tree, all trees have a way of reproducing themselves and having seeds. This tree has a cone, okay? So coniferous trees are they have cones. So you'll have a Douglas fir tree. The cone looks a little bit different than like a sequoia tree or or the cone of a pine tree even. So when you see different cones, they actually have different names. You have, like I said, Douglas fir tree, it'd be a Douglas fir cone. Sequoia tree, it'd be a sequoia cone. Okay, so as you go hiking next time in the forest, as you look at different cones, you might want to think about like, what's the name of that cone? Will tell you the name of the tree that it came from. Okay. And then inside that cone is the seeds to grow new trees, just like the fruit of a plant will help grow new plants. Okay, so we know what plants need, and we know their parts. Okay, we know that they have roots, leaves, stems, and in the case of a tree, they have a trunk. They might have pollen on the flowers, they might have flowers, and the fruits, or they have, in this case, this has a cone to hold the seeds, okay? And then they all give us things too. Like plants give us, one really important thing that we need from plants is oxygen. They need our carbon dioxide. So as we breathe out, that air that we breathe out, again, is called carbon dioxide. And they take it in along with the sun to make the food for their plant. And they also give us oxygen through that process. And then food, they give us food. We get lots of fruits and vegetables from our trees and plants. The trees in particular give us homes. Or even homes for the animals. They give pencils, like they're just made out of wood, so pencils. Paper is made from trees. We get shade from trees, so when you're really hot outside and you want to get some shade, you can go under a tree. Furniture, any kind of wood furniture we might have. And then they give us beauty. If we look around out our window, we can see the flowers blooming, or we can see the even the other animals enjoying the trees and the plants, the bees, the butterflies, which makes our world a much more beautiful place. Now, this week we're asking you to write about the parts of a plant, or what they need, have, or give in your journal. So, kind of help you out with that, and kind of give you a sentence frame of like, you can start with like plants, in particular. So you say plants need water to grow. So we can say something like that. Talking about plants and trees too. Or we can talk about just trees and we say trees have bark, and then to protect the tree. Okay, so you say trees have bark to protect the tree. That would be a sentence for our journal. Or we can put them together, talking about plants and trees. And we could say they give people, they give oxygen to people. So kind of have fun, writing facts about plants and trees in your journals, and have a good week.